Howdy. Howdy, y'all. There's Moon in second house in Taurus. Moon in Taurus in the sign, the moon in the second house in the sign of Taurus. I don't know why it was so hard for me to get that shit out. I don't know. But anyway, I made a quick note I wanted to share with you guys right off top. Every sign, with if you have this, is in their respective place. Meaning, Aries rules the first house. Aries is the original sign that rules and sits in the first house. Taurus, second house. Gemini, third house. So, with that being said, every planet is doing its respective job. So, wherever Mars sits, it's doing the things of the first and eighth house. Wherever Venus sits, it's doing the things of the second and seventh house, and so on. In this example, Moon is doing fourth house things, and Cancer is there. And so we know what the Moon is. Moon is your peace of mind, like I've added, theoretically added. Um, it's your mind, your what's going on in your mind, your thinking, your thoughts, what you think about most of the time. It's your feelings, it's your emotions. And the sign it sits in is Taurus. Taurus gives it a personality. So, and then the second house is one of my favorite houses actually. It is the survival house, survival instincts, what you need to survive, people you need to survive, what in this world is this physical reality we live in, and what you need to survive in this physical reality. Talents, people could look at as talents, what you need to survive. Like you have to use what you have and somehow make money off of it. Some people, that's a talent. A talent could be something you could use that you have to somehow construct it in a way to where you earn a living from it or earn money from it. It's your for Vedic followers, it's your family lineage. Like you need your parents' guidance. You're being brought up. You need that to survive. Like everybody has it. Most people have it. It's like your bank account. You need to have money saved. It's your throat, right? So you need to eat in order to survive, right? It's self-esteem. Right, this is the house where you see how the self-esteem comes about, what things brings it or harms it. It's I can keep going, but that's basically second house. And so these people, if you have this, you are constantly your mind is constantly thinking about you're constantly thinking about stabilizing your survival weaponry, if you want to call it. Like you're like, and this is second house is like I said, it's a savings account, like your vault. Your mind is constantly into those things. You're constantly trying to um, 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 I don't want to say hoard, hoarders, but in a sense, that's what you're doing. I don't want to have a negative association with this, But that's what's going on. Like, you're always thinking about ways you can build a nest egg. And with it in Taurus, for the most part, it's a successful place. It's because, like I said, every planet is doing their respective job. Even if you have outside influences, and I'm probably gonna say that, especially with Moon and Taurus, because again, it's exalted. Even if you have outside influences, negative influences coming in, like these people always find uh, a way to protect what they have built. It's the second house as well. It's something that is, and second house is also the financial security. Financial security. These people are always thinking about ways they can stabilize even more what they have built and to continue to hoard and stabilize it. So, um, the mind is also like when I said survival instincts. You're always thinking about ways, and you're always feeling um, there's because the moon is like this. It doesn't in Taurus. It's the most stable, right? Because Taurus is a stable sign, but it's still the nature of the mind is still like this. Your feelings is still like this. So you have to your emotions goes into um, trying to stabilize your self esteem as if it's a boat. Like it could be, it's never it never seems to be stable. It never seems to be still. Like it's always moving, and you always have to bring it back to as still as possible, stillness as possible. Um, and what I mean by this is these people, their self-esteem, it's their goal is to bring it like this, right? As much as this. So it's always either here or there. And your thing is to stabilize the self-esteem, how you feel about yourself is always doing this. And so the mind goes into trying to make it like this as much as possible. So now Cancer is in the fourth house. Cancer, fourth house. Activities of the fourth house coming to the second house. Second house is emotional, your emotional foundation. That's what that's what the moon is doing here. So through your mind, through the second house, through financial security, you find that's where your emotional foundation lies. The more money you have saved, the more emotionally stable you are. The more you feel like you have a foundation in life, like something to stand on, whether it be figuratively or literally. So this is very important. It's a very important placement because um, if you don't feel like you have enough saved, if second house things are not taken care of, fourth house is very important. It's a game to the house. Kendra. Am I spelling it right? I think I am. Yeah. In Vedic astrology, yeah. It's first, fourth, seventh, and 10th house. These are the flower of the chart, right? It's the if the chart is a cake, Then those houses I just named is the flower. It's the most important ingredient in it. You can't have a chart without those. You need those. Those are that's like the basics. And fourth house is one of them. It's a very important house. So it's a very important placement. So fourth house things go into the second house. Your relationship with your mother reminds you a lot of your upbringing. Like you were really involved with them with your mother coming up when it came to the family upbringing, self-esteem. She had a lot to do with that, for better or worse. You might even sound like, even if you're male, you might even sound like your mother, meaning not like, if you're a male, you have this. I don't mean like you sound like a woman. I mean you have her, like her speech patterns. Like if she pauses a lot, you might pause a lot. If her voice is a melody, it sounds like she's singing, you might have this. You might sound like you're singing, and that's another thing of the second house with moon there. This is like people naturally have either have a knack for it or they have a talent for singing. Like it flows. Whatever these people are thinking about, they can make a song out of just about anything they think about. So that's pretty cool. So the moon aspects the eighth house from here. And the aspect, if you don't know what an aspect is, my version of it, my understanding of it is from wherever a planet sits, the aspect shows like really, I mean, the where a planet sits, yeah, it's going to manifest its energy there, but really you can see, um, it's like the how can I put it? If the moon, if where a planet sits, that house it sits in is a movie, then the aspects show you like the characters. Right? They show you the settings. They show you the um um the other ingredients of the movie, what brings it all together, what makes sense of it, what other areas are affected. It's like the like I said, the setting, the you know the the background of the movie and the background of the characters. It gives it life. It makes the movie make sense. Same way, if you have moon in the second house, um, the aspect, if the eighth aspect, I mean the when it's aspect in the eighth house, it's real. It's giving you it's showing you other areas of life that planet is affecting, like the moon. So the moon is throwing its aspect, its energy into the eighth house. So those are the things you also be thinking about. Because of things that's going on in the second house, the eighth house is affected. That's the best way I can put it. So everything I was talking about, you're going to see this is going to show up in the eighth house things. It's going to show up in transformation. It's going to show up with the in-laws. That house is going to be affected because of what's going on in the second house. It's going to show up in emotional trauma. Like, for example, if these people are not, like, if they don't have like enough money, if they don't have self-esteem, if their self-esteem is not, because we're in Taurus, if it's not stable, then they have these cathartic experiences. They have these deep intense, emotional. It could be outbursts, but they're experiences that they have because of what's going on in the second house. When the second house suffers, eighth house is affected. You see it there. When the eighth house, second house is good, when it's at that stable, when Taurus is good, Taurus is stabilizing that mind, and everything is going well, then transformation happens. Something suddenly happens because that's eighth house. Sudden events out of nowhere. You don't know what's coming. Eighth house is, we can't see what's coming. It's like the volcano, but you don't know when exactly the volcano is going to erupt, right? Nobody knows for sure when it's going to happen. So sudden events, for the better or worse, happen. And that all depends on if Moon is stable there. If things are good there, positive things will happen. Positive transformations will come. If it's not going well, negative transformations will happen. Sudden, out of nowhere, sudden things happen. For good or bad. So take this, again, like I said, in the Moon in the first house. Take hold of this, right? Take hold of your life. Take hold of, this placement. If you have this, make it work for you. Make it work for you, not against you. You want sudden transfer. Things are going to happen. That eighth house, if you have this, that eighth house is going to be affected. Sudden things are going to happen. What do you want to happen? You want them to be positive or negative? Of course, we want them to be positive. So take control. Make this placement work for you. All right? Peace.